Hello, all of you lovely beings. My name is Larissa and welcome to my YouTube. In today's video, I want to share why it is so important to regularly parasite cleanse. All of us should be regularly parasite cleansing. At least twice a year is recommended, but you can definitely choose to do it anytime the seasons change. That's the best time of year to do it. And I know it's not really common in our society to talk about parasites often. We, at least in the Western world, have been conditioned to really think of parasites as only really being an issue in third world countries, places where there's contaminated water. But for those of us who have grown up on a standard American diet, eating plenty of animal products, it's going to be a major issue for all of us. And a lot of people don't realize just how many symptoms of dis-ease are actually linked to parasites, and how parasites even end up in the body. I mean, oftentimes it's coming through things like the meat, especially raw fish. Sushi is one of the biggest culprits, and pig meat, pig flesh, is also pretty high for parasite contamination. So definitely be aware of that and stay clear of these animal flesh non-foods. They're not food. It's not food for the human body to eat someone else's dead body. It's just not. So, at this day and age, we just need to wake up to that reality and realize we are plant-based by nature. It takes a lot of conditioning to undo everything we've learned in the past, but the truth is humans are frugivores. We're designed biologically to thrive on a fruit-based, plant-based diet, and I've been doing this for almost 8 years and I've never felt better. I've been able to reverse all of my past chronic illnesses and symptoms, and now I'm thriving and feel absolutely amazing. Other ways that we can get in contact with parasites is if we have pets, anything that's cross-contaminated. Some of the things that we get from the grocery store that are fruits and vegetables could have some soil on them, and in that soil sometimes there's animal feces that carry parasites, so make sure you wash your fruits and vegetables really well. But when it comes to animal products, you can't really get rid of the parasites that are already in the flesh, so that's why it's best to just not eat them at all. But with fruits and vegetables, you can just wash the outside and you're good to go, because these kind of parasites that are really harmful to our body don't actually live within the fruits and vegetables. They can't thrive on the living foods. They thrive on decay and dead matter, which is why they're in the flesh of the animals that many people are eating. And in nature, parasites serve a positive purpose. They're there to basically help to decay and break down the things that are dying. They're basically like the vultures, and they naturally help to clean up the excess waste within the human body. So if we are adding a lot of things to our body, whether it's through food or other toxins that we're coming in contact with, parasites thrive in the environment when your body is more toxic because they're there to help clean up the waste. But things have gotten really out of balance in nature since we are really bombarding ourselves with tons of toxins, making improper dietary choices, and just overloading our body with toxins. And the parasites are thriving, they're overpopulating, and they're taking over. And they're a life form of their own, so they want to live, they want to survive. And it's pretty crazy when you do the research on parasites, the amount of control they can have over our thoughts and emotions. They can really hijack our brain and cause us to think thoughts we would never think, to crave foods that we know are not good for us. They want to keep us in a more stressed out state because then we'll choose to eat less healthy foods typically. We'll go more towards the comfort foods, and they cause us to make just unhealthy choices. And we do not want to do that. We do not want to have our brains hijacked. We do not want to stay stuck in these negative loops that isn't necessarily always just our own cause, but sometimes the cause of something within us. Parasites, an interesting way to think about them is they can be seen as the physical manifestation of basically possession of some sort of non-physical dark entity. And you can really compare and see the link between demonic possession and parasites. And if you really want to get into the spiritual side of it, that's basically what it is. So we all need to exorcise these demons from our bodies if that's how you want to look at it, but you will feel the spiritual liberation in doing so. So the two are really linked. And for our overall well-being, for our mental health, that's another thing. People that are suffering with mental health issues, this is a huge one for you that you really need to look at. But even things like any of the diseases that are pretty common nowadays, especially cancer, any sort of skin issues, skin conditions, grinding teeth at night are a sign of symptoms, inflammation and gut issues, digestive issues, malnutrition, that's a huge one, iron deficiency. But basically, we all have parasites. We all need to cleanse parasites at the end of the day. That is what we all need to accept and realize, and it is a very, very, very important thing that we need to do. So how do you parasite cleanse? Well, there are a lot of great herbal protocols out there to choose from. I personally in the past have always done Dr. Robert Morse's parasite protocol. I also work with a superfood company called Purium, and they also have a parasite cleanse that I'm currently on right now, and it also is very effective. It's also really, really key to take other herbal blends that assist your eliminative organs while parasite cleansing. So I also always take herbs for my lymphatic system, for my kidneys and bladder and liver, as well as my GI tract, to just keep my eliminative pathways open. It's great to go to the sauna. It's great to move your body and sweat and exercise every day, and to get out in the sun. That's really important and helps kill parasites as well. And the reason it's really important to take these extra herbs to assist your eliminative organs is because when parasites are dying off, they release a lot of harmful toxins and chemicals into the bloodstream, which can cause a lot of detox symptoms to arise and cause a bit of discomfort. And that's completely normal. Anytime you're detoxing or killing off parasites, it's completely normal to experience a little bit of discomfort, maybe some more fatigue, maybe body aches, flu-like symptoms. This is all very normal. You'll definitely need to get a little more rest to allow your body to heal and, cleanse. So that's why that's really important, to just ensure you're taking the best care of your body during a process like this. And with the dying off of the parasites, they also lay their eggs as they're dying. So you typically want to do 2 rounds of parasite cleansing. And this is just to ensure that once the adults die off and then they lay their eggs, then once the eggs hatch again, you can kill the next round off. And it's really interesting that parasites actually follow the moon cycle, as do many things in nature. So being aware of when to parasite cleanse is very important. Parasites are more active and vulnerable. They're moving around in the body, they're laying their eggs, they're out and about around the full moon. So parasite protocols typically should start around 4 days before the full moon, continue all throughout the full moon, typically for about 10 days the first round. Then you can take a 20-day break and then do another 10-day round during the next full moon. And that's what I would consider a full round of a parasite cleanse, something that I would do 2 to 4 times a year. So there's 2 rounds within each round that you do, just to ensure you're really, getting all of them as much as possible. And it really is impossible to have 0 parasites altogether. We need a little bit just to help reduce the toxic load in our body. That's what they feed on, is the toxins, the heavy metals, the accumulated waste. So as long as your body is, in a constant cleansing state, you shouldn't have a ton of them, and they won't really cause you issues when everything is in harmony and in balance. They are a very important part of nature, but when things get out of balance because we're eating improperly, we're living stressful lives, we're bombarded by toxins, just in our environment, it can just get really out of hand and out of balance, and they can really take over and proliferate and just cause a lot of damage. So I wanted to share this important message with you all. I hope it's helpful. I'll have some links down below for the different herbs that I recommend. The beautiful thing about raw living foods is there's lots of anti-parasitic properties in a lot of those foods, so they really help to just regularly keep all of that kind of regulated. So if you guys have any questions at all, leave them down below. I appreciate you all so much for tuning into this video. If you want to stay more up to date with me, you can check me out on Instagram as well. I love connecting with you all. I am sending you so much love, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!